Hello, my name's Rachel, one of the dietitians in the team, and in this session I'll be talking about metabolism and how this can impact on the portion size you need. Let's consider how many calories we need each day, known as metabolism. Metabolism is the amount of energy needed to keep every cell in your body alive, and how your body converts the foods and drinks you consume into this energy, which is measured in calories. We're all individuals with different needs. For healthy adults, the range of nutrients we need is pretty much the same for all of us. However, the amount of food we need varies from person to person, based on our sex. Males need more calories than females, age, we need fewer calories as we get older, height, weight, and how active we are. Other factors, such as the amount of muscle you have, heat produced by digestion, body temperature, genetics, and even your gut bacteria, can have an effect on how many calories you need, and can even vary from day to day. The recommended portion sizes are based on the average amount needed for healthy adults, of 2,000 calories for women and 2,500 calories a day for men. Whilst this is a helpful starting point, it may not be realistic or suitable for you. We know how rapid weight loss can reduce your metabolism by hundreds of calories per day, meaning it's easy to overestimate how many calories you need to have. You will not know exactly how many calories you need unless you're part of a scientific study that directly measures this. You cannot feel how many calories your body needs, and unfortunately, alarm doesn't go off when you've reached your personal calorie limit for the day. I'm working on inventing that. There are mathematical equations used to estimate how many calories a person needs per day, and these are often used in the calorie tracking apps and give a good ballpark figure, but are still not completely accurate. So it comes down to balancing the food groups and finding the portion sizes that are right for you, and taking steps in the right direction to figure this out. People often ask us if they can speed up their metabolism, which essentially means, can you make your body burn more calories even when sitting still? There are many things you can buy that claim to boost your metabolism or burn fat. Whilst many are promising, very few are actually based on good scientific studies and can be very expensive or even dangerous for your health, as the ingredients tend to be unregulated. Whilst I haven't covered everything, let's look at a few that may or may not have some truths behind them. Exercise. Depending on the type of exercise you do, it will burn calories at the time of exercising and even the day afterwards. So yes, exercise can speed up your metabolism. The types of activity that you do are important and include any that build muscle or are very high intensity. Examples include high intensity training, weights, and squats. But don't worry if these are not possible for you at the moment. One of the most useful ways to increase your overall activity and therefore calories burned is by standing and moving more regularly during the day, which can burn almost 200 calories extra compared to sitting. Standing or moving every 20 minutes is a helpful strategy. Even though these things don't change your metabolism like the muscle building exercises, they still help you burn more calories, which is helpful. Let's look at raspberry ketones next. Raspberry ketone is what flavours many cosmetics and processed foods. When present in high doses, raspberry ketone can have fat-burning effects similar to stimulants. It's worth knowing that all the studies have only been in test tubes and not in real people. Plus, the concentrations used are not possible to achieve through taking the supplements. Now let's look at drinks. Coffee. The caffeine in coffee can burn around 10 extra calories for every 100 milligrams of caffeine you have. I'll break that down for you. A cup of instant coffee contains 100 milligrams, filter coffee 140, energy drinks 80, cup of tea 75, can of cola 40, a bar of dark chocolate 50. So if you have all of these in a day, you will only burn an extra 50 calories. Be careful not to have too much caffeine and always check with your doctor before taking any supplements. although 400 milligrams of caffeine a day is thought to be safe for the average person. Green tea has a very small effect on metabolism, and very high doses are required to burn an extra 50 calories per day. This is only practical in supplement form, but these can be dangerous for your health. Also, most of the studies use green tea extract, not the actual tea. Now let's look at vinegar. In one study, 30 mils, which is 1 to 2 tablespoons, of vinegar a day led to more weight loss than the group who did not take it. It needs further research and does not appear to work by changing your metabolism as such, but it could be an easy, harmless addition to your diet. Eating regularly. Erratic eating schedules seem to be associated with slower metabolism. Whilst we encourage a regular eating routine, there is no definite answer to exactly how often you should eat. I've not covered all the supplements available. We'd be here all day. But the bottom line is that there is no one magic pill or answer to boosting your metabolism. And unfortunately, you don't have much control over your metabolism. But building muscle and moving more are probably going to have the best impact on boosting your metabolism and overall health. So it may be worth starting to think about gradually increasing your activity level. Moving on to portion sizes, often we don't think about portion size when we eat. It can depend on what we usually have, how hungry we feel, how much is in a pack or on our plate. But there is always a process involved in how much we eat. Let's take a minute to think about each step in the process and what may impact on your portion size. It may sound obvious, but there's actually quite a lot involved. Let's start with shopping. Who does the shopping? How often? How are your hunger levels at the time? Are there any temptations? How's your mood? Do you take a shopping list? Who unpacks it? Preparing and cooking. Do you plan your meals in advance or look in the cupboards when it gets to mealtime? Who are you cooking for these days? Or is someone cooking for you? What impact does that have? Do you portion out any food items before or after cooking? What size are your pans? Serving. Do you plate up individually or put food on the table to serve? If eating with others, does everyone get the same portion? What's your mealtime environment like? What size plates do you use? What happens to leftovers? Eating. How hungry are you when you start eating? Do you manage to eat mindfully? How do you know when to stop eating? It can be helpful to think about each step in the process and any changes you could make to help with reducing portion sizes. For example, shopping. If I used a shopping list or did online shopping, would I be more likely to only buy what I need? Do I need to look at packaging or food labels? Preparing. Would it be helpful if I plan meals for the day or week? Could I weigh out some foods before I cook them? Or use a smaller pan? Serving. Could I use a smaller plate? Or serve the vegetables first to make sure they're the largest section? Perhaps I could portion up leftover food and freeze it for another day, or put some in a Tupperware box before I even start serving my food. Eating. Would anything help me to eat more mindfully and listen to my fullness? It's also worth thinking about whether there are any particular challenges for you, either physical, such as pain, energy levels, hunger, or emotional, such as mood, or perhaps even other people. Everyone's circumstances are different, but for everyone, there's more that goes into portion control than first meets the eye. So finally, the key points are that you don't have a huge amount of control over your metabolism, and you won't know exactly how many calories you need each day, which can make it really tricky to know what portion size to have. There's no one magic pill or potion that can drastically improve your metabolism. But exercise and building muscle can be really helpful. There's a lot involved in managing portions. Have a think about whether there's anything that would help you manage your portion sizes, based on what we've talked about today. In session 2 of portion sizes, we'll be looking at the recommended servings in more detail. And here's a resource for if you really enjoy numbers and want a more accurate way to tell how many calories you need as an individual. Try this link. Kevin Hall and his team do lots of research on metabolism and weight loss, and their program uses any new research to make it as accurate as possible, which is unlike most other widely available apps. And you can also try it on expert mode for the most accurate answers. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you soon.